How you guys and girls doing today? Blackboard Gamer here, and in this video I'm giving y'all an Overwatch guide on the new Genji meta. That's right, is Genji meta right now? Let's find out.
Young Savage, why you trapping so hard? Why these niggas capping so hard? Why you got a 12-car garage? Why you pulling out?
How y'all doing today? And like I always say in every single beginning of my videos, I appreciate all the support I get from y'all. It really means a lot to me. And if you're new to the channel, please make sure to subscribe and like, as it really helps. And I appreciate every single one of y'all, because I don't consider y'all a view count or a subscriber count. I consider y'all true family. With that being said, let's get straight into the video. The very first reason why I think Genji could possibly be meta now is because he can actually do consistent damage. Now, I know what some people are going to say. You could use Genji in the previous meta. Yes, you could. And you could do damage. Yes, you could. But by consistent damage, I mean, in the previous meta, you could do 24, 48, or 72 clips of shuriken damage, or just shurikens, and that would not take down a tank because the OP and a grenade would just heal them, or Roadhog would heal himself up and Reinhardt would just put his shield up. You were just like nitpicking. You weren't picking off people like Genji's known for, and that's what a lot of people would get mad about. You weren't picking. You were just nitpicking. You were just throwing shurikens. It would be irritating. It wouldn't even be you wouldn't be getting kills, and you couldn't even go after the healers, because if you try to go after the healers, then you would just get killed by the tanks. A lot of pro players were starting to use different characters. They would still use their Genji, of course, but they would use different characters because the meta would just destroy. And with these tanks having such high health plus healing themselves plus Ana, that was just way too OP. Now with the Ana nerf, with the tank nerf, with the Sombra buff, and with all the DPS meta coming in, and with all these characters being able to do this consistent damage, Genji really has amazing potential right now. And I think it'd be extremely crucial and vital for somebody to use him. The second reason I think Genji's in the meta now, y'all, is because his ultimate will not be laughed at. What do I mean by that? Y'all, your Dragonblade only does 150 damage per hit. Those tanks laugh at that. I mean, tanks with 500, 600 health, all 400, 300 armor, all of this, plus Ana's healing in the you would not get a single kill. If you even try to go after the healers, they can counter you. Ana could sleep you, Zenyatta could pop his Transcendence, Lucio could drop the beat. So healers were out of the question, because they would just either counter you, or they would just turn on speed boost and just try to get away from you, or they would be protected by their tanks. And you wouldn't be able to get any picks on the tanks because they could heal themselves and they have way too much health. By the time you try to swipe at them a couple of times with your sword, somebody would have either hooked you, they would have pinned you, you would have just been gotten destroyed. There was no way for you to get any possible kills, even with the nano boost. Y'all, when you get nano boosted, of course you're an immediate target, so that was an immediate problem too. So y'all, with this current buff going on, semi buff with the attack DPS and these nerfs being put out on these tanks, y'all, this really means now that Genji's ult can actually start doing things again. Not that it wasn't doing things before, but it can actually get valuable picks and end up changing the way that the game is turned around. And you might not even have to combo with Genji now, y'all, with the DPS meta coming right back into play. If the enemy team is DPS, you could just take them out on your own. You might not need to have to combo just to try to kill one tank. It won't have to worry about that anymore. You'll be able to simply just go in and do your job. And number three, y'all talk about this in so many videos. I know y'all can get tired of it, but I mean it sincerely when I say mobility is a big issue here. Mobility, y'all, mobility was the key. Y'all, it did not matter how many times Genji jumped around and hopped around on the map in this previous meta, because tanks would just stare at him like he's not going to do anything. I mean, the heals, the tanks were getting healed. They had themselves healed. They had damage. They had the hook. They had pin. They had Reinhardt hammer down. I'm just naming. They had so many things to counter Genji. It was ridiculous. He would not even be looked at. Now, y'all, that mobility, that's gonna come in handy. Genji is by far, of course, as we all know, the most mobile character in the game. I mean, Hanzo, of course, can climb up walls, but he cannot double jump, backflips, aerial stuff, climb up walls, dash, the reflect. He is by far the most mobile character in the game. And with this DPS meta coming back in, y'all, it's a perfect time for you to use that mobility to your advantage. I mean, hop over roofs, hop over ceilings, climb up walls, do anything. Because if they do have any tanks on your team, they're gonna actually be a little bit quite fearful of you now, considering they're not gonna have the amazing heals that they did have before. And even if the enemy team does have a whole bunch of DPS, y'all, with your mobility, your ult, and your damage you can actually put out now, you'll actually be a threat. You won't be looked at as some annoying fly. You'll actually be, let's focus this Genji, because he can actually take out our back line now. He can actually kill our DPS now. Let's focus this Genji, because he's just not going to be annoying and be like a fly to swat in front of our tanks now. He's actually going to be doing damage. So y'all, if y'all combine all those three, y'all, the mobility, that damage, consistent damage, and that ult, y'all, Genji is powerful as ever right now. We got to enjoy this. Alright, y'all, so those are my 3 reasons why I think Genji should be back in the meta. I honestly think that with all these changes, y'all, it's about time for a change. I might be doing a video later on the Diva buff that she's receiving, but I wanted to get this video out because, like I said, I promised it, and I hope y'all did enjoy this video. And like I always say, y'all, I appreciate all the support I get, y'all, my family, and I will catch y'all on the next one. BBG.
Catch me outside, how about that?
Let's get Wiz Khalifa high, yeah. Get meditated over medicated.